Whee! Oh. I'm gonna go get a bench. I'll be right back. Trying to warm up my shoulders nice and good. Coming off a strained shoulder. Echelon, how's it going? I haven't been around so regularly. Yeah, I've for about 2.5 weeks now. I switched up my program to I'm just when I injured my knee, I was doing nothing but push pull push pull push pull, and I wore out my shoulder. So I had to take some time off, and my entire program was Wednesday legs centered around sumo deadlift, and then Sundays legs centered around just destroying my leg muscles, and every other day was exercise, stretching, and some light cardio but I ate a lot of food, put on probably 7 pounds. So in the next couple weeks, I'm gonna burn it all off. And today, it's just gonna be some light pull-ups. How are you doing? Oh, it just said that you're good. I'm glad to hear. I'm gonna start with a single pull-up because the reason I decided I had to stop is because I couldn't do a single pull-up without my shoulder bothering me. And that was perfect. That was okay. So this camera here. All right, so it's better without that light. Good to know. Yeah, Amber's Amber Soul 944. How's it going? Thank you. I've done a lot of pull-ups in my life. My last birthday was my 34th. My birthday present to myself, I did 400 pull-ups at an adult calisthenics park after doing like 45 minutes of Ninja Warrior stuff where I'm jumping, swinging, grabbing the like swinging between bar to bar and doing muscle ups and stuff like that. Posted some stuff on Instagram and had a lot of fun. I'm a little bit less lean right now than I was last time I streamed, but that's okay. What did you work out today? Josh underscore 419. How's it going? I'm going to do an actual set right now. I'm pushing 200 pounds right now. That was on my birthday. I took some pictures, posted on Instagram. Um, my birthday before that, so my 33rd birthday, that was my first birthday during COVID, and that is where I found that park that I went to, and so I did some of the same stuff that day, but I didn't wear gloves, and I ripped the meat off my hand. So my finger, the meat off it just got pulled off. I went to I drove to the pharmacy, got a Band-Aid, wrapped the Band-Aid on. Then I found some of like the winter lady gloves in my car, threw it on my one hand, and I kept going. So a year later, I went back, and this time I'm like, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna wear gloves this time. I got plenty of mess. You did legs. Ah, I found like deep cuts tend to be less painful than just like the paper cuts, like the surface, like the little scratches that are like irritating and they're stinging and they're like but then meanwhile I've stuck something right through my hand before and it's just like, oh, look at that, that's what my meat looks like. Doesn't hurt so bad. All right, so I want to throw in some rows in between. Let's move this up a bit and turn it towards this way a bit. Oh, Easy. Oh, we got a blizzard here last night. I went to the gym and there was a football game at the stadium. The stadium is, I go to a university gym and the stadium is right next door. It's not actually affiliated by the university, but there's only really three ways to get into the university. One of them is a really convoluted residential way that no one goes to, and that's currently blocked off. So there's two ways to get into this whole university compound and the stadium, and there was thousands of people. I couldn't believe it. Like in the middle of a blizzard, like I can't even see people. It was like 6 o'clock at night. Oh, all right. I'm thinking if there's anything I want to do besides just pull-ups and my rows, I think I want to take it a little bit easy. This is my first back workout. I don't know. I'm not going to include sumo deadlift in back exercises. This is my first back workout in 2 weeks. When did I gain the most weight? Within the first 8 months of training. I was 24 years old, 140 pounds, and then I jumped straight up to 180 pounds. Like I blinked. I'm 180. I wasn't necessarily super lean, but I was filled out well. No, we had our Thanksgiving a little while back. I'm still keeping my distance from those things, pandemic wise. All right. I could probably get if I back up, I'll get more in the frame. Come down a bit. All right, so that's gonna clip my head off a bit. I miss my old setup. When I had it on that door, it was nice. This thing I have a love-hate relationship with. Um, Mostly hate because I don't appreciate it now that I can just go to the gym and do my pull-ups there. But I got little plastics on here which rotate. So when I start doing weighted pull-ups, they actually start rotating in my hands. At my old place, it had foam, and the foam would still rotate in my hands, but I could actually shove my hand in between the bar and the door, and it would put horizontal pressure on my hand, which would help prevent the rotating. So I could go a little bit heavier at my old apartment than I can here. Oh, yeah. Feel a little bit guilty sometimes for not being regular with the streaming. I should do something where I commit to streaming my workouts every day for like 2 weeks or something, and then see how that goes. And then I'd be able to like I'd throw in a full training regimen over that time, as opposed to doing my best workouts at the gym where I have access to like the racks and safer ways to do some of the staple workouts. All right, let's go back here. All right, that should be enough. Oh, I still can't kneel on my left knee, so I'm pretty careful getting up every time. All right. So this is where I will keep my station at from now on. I feel like I'm getting waterlogged already. I got snow on my balcony. I ended up, I keep this guy outside on my balcony. I ended up bringing it in, knocking all the snow off, wiping it off. They're rotating on me. Oh. Work's been kicking my butt these days. I'm basically tired every day when I get home. All right, let's throw in some more rows in between. Skinny fat gang. Moves like Jagger. Thank you. I uh, I think my last stream was a partner dancing stream, but my knee didn't hold up well. I've still got some bone bruising, and it wasn't my best moves, so I didn't really feel that happy with it. But I ended up still posting the thing, and in the weeks since, I did dance again, but I didn't record anything. I just set up an event for fun. All right, that's better. How are you doing, Mr. Gang? Whoa. I gotta be careful when I get up. Immortal Chickens, how's it going? I'm a little bit less lean than I normally am. That's okay. Give me 2 weeks and you'll never notice. I don't count those as pull-ups, but I'm actually not counting my pull-ups right now. You want to know the secret to get to doing a lot of pull-ups? Never go to failure. You push yourself to failure, um, the quality of your reps will decrease for the rest of the night. You don't recover from going to failure that quick. You ordered your knee wraps and your wrist straps. Yeah. Protect your knees. Um, but if you can't do a pull-up, what you can try doing, you can try just the negative. And I guess you might be able to build up to being able to do a pull-up, but a pull-up depends a lot on your current weight. But the goal should just be improving yourself, getting stronger, and all the improvements to your health along the way. Well, actually, I think I did it backwards. Improve your health first, get bigger and stronger as a result of that. But if you jump up and let yourself down, you should be about 30% stronger on the way down, and that will actually help you build a lot of strength so that you can actually do the regular pull-ups. If you can't, you can have bands, right? Like you wrap the bands around, have a loop for your legs. Yes, sir. Yeah, I get that. I could probably do dips on this thing. I've never actually tried doing dips on this before. I'm gonna like bang my head. How's that? I normally do dips on my parallel bars just because it's easier. They're there. I can grab them. I'll throw the straps over top of my back just to add some weight. All right, next set. I'm getting hot. I don't have the fan directly on me when I'm doing my pull-ups. And as I go up, the air is actually getting hotter. So when I take my breath at the top, it's just hot air. I don't like it. I'm going to turn this fan directly on me. How's that? Oh, that's so much better. Right away. First time trying spicy tomato soup. Is that another account, just a different number? 3133? Because I definitely know that name. Oh. You're talking 4 plates each side, so like 405? Yeah. As long as you're doing dips correctly, like I find dips are one of the best exercises if you regularly throw in at the end of your workout, just to get a lot of helps put on size, strength. When I was at my fittest, that I would like I was throwing in my did I say pull-ups or dips? I meant dips. I meant throwing in dips at the end, and what you can do is you can get rid of. You have a little bit of energy left in the gym for from your workout that you didn't get rid of. Do some dips. Go home absolutely smashed. Oh, yeah. I started sumo deadlifting for the first time since like 2017, like 3 weeks ago, and I'm not very good at it. I haven't been using the belt because I want to get the form right, and I haven't actually been like coming up quick. I've been squeezing my way up, and I've been capping off at 405. So 405 is like I do it, and I can feel like something like that's my max when it comes to sumo. But then afterwards, I literally just go up to a conventional deadlift and put it back on the rack. So it's like 405, just pick it up, put it on the rack. It's like okay. But for sumo, I'm still figuring it out. And I don't have any explosive power. I've been focusing more on form. At the same time, if something doesn't feel right, I'll just let it go. I won't pick it up. But I remember like so 3 weeks ago, I was at the gym with my phone looking up YouTube videos while I was doing some other exercises, how to do a deadlift or how to do a sumo deadlift properly. Then I just went right from there and thinking, well, okay, like pushing away the floor, spreading the floor with my legs, keeping my hips up as high as I can while you can still see my nipples. Generic advice like that. Played around a little bit with the foot rotation and what was the most comfortable for me. Yeah, yeah. I think that's what happened to my shoulder. Too much explosive power, and I threw a ball, and I wasn't warmed up, and I just like grabbed it and I chucked it, but I threw it as hard as I could, and and then I was like, okay, so maybe I shouldn't have done that because I was doing push pull push pull push pull push pull. So I was literally doing push 3 days a week, pull 3 days a week, and I was tightening up, and then I just whipped it, and then I ended up taking 2.5 weeks off of anything but legs. So like the last 2.5 weeks, all I've been doing was leg days on Wednesdays based around sumo deadlift, and the leg days on Sunday based around just kicking the crap out of, like throwing in squats, but focus on just kicking the crap out of my leg muscle, and with some light cardio every other day with some stretching, and I wouldn't call it cardio. It's more just exercise, just to stay fit. But I definitely gained some weight. Am I on camera? Good enough. I weighed myself earlier. I'm 199 pounds. That's how much I weigh today. I'm gonna go straight to my dips. And so this lat work we've been doing that's been working core is a cable workout, pulling the bar down, which, okay, so you're pulling the arm, pulling the bar back. Yeah. Okay, so the exercise that I've used to beat my abs up the most back, I haven't done it in a while, but you get the half moon ball, and what you do is you lay on it, so it's at the arch of your back, so it opens you all the way up, and if you lay on your back at the cable machine where you would normally do your, man, I got workout fog brain right now, but when you normally do your bicep curls, but what you do is you grab the rope, stick it behind your head, open yourself up, and then crunch while you have weight at your head with the resistance cable coming up. You walk out of that thing and feels like somebody's gone a couple rounds on your belly with some heavy gloves. Good enough. So your lats are growing a lot, but I'm, you don't know enough back workouts to work everything else. Well, that's what's great about compound lifts. You get multiple muscles in the lift as well as you're working out the big muscles. And like you get your pull downs, you get your rows, you're like 90% there for your back. Like make sure you're doing your rows, and you'll get a nice knee in no time as long as you're getting your volume in. To grow, you need hypertrophy. As your muscles get bigger and stronger, hypertrophy becomes harder and harder to achieve. So you gotta like increase the weights. You gotta play around with your sets. You gotta make the exercises harder on yourself. You have to try harder. But once you've got good reps or good sets where you meet hypertrophy, the more volume you get in over a week, over a month, over 6 months, over a year, the bigger you're going to grow. And for myself, when I first started wanting my back, I started training my back like 3 days a week, sometimes 2, but like 3 months, it was like I had the best. I had a really good V. until my midway started to come in a little bit as I started getting more muscle everywhere. You try landmine row for the first time. Oh, smack yourself in the mouth. And we both know why you smack yourself in the mouth. You're explosive power. You're exploding. And sometimes when you do that, momentum was a conservation of momentum. There's some sort of physics law that ends up with a barbell in the mouth. That's that's how the law was written back in I don't know, the early 1900s, right? It's you get mass, you get momentum, you get smacked in the mouth with a barbell. Now let's get all this stuff out from my feet. Yeah, I've experimented a little bit with everything. Strength training versus bodybuilding, like powerlifting versus bodybuilding. I've done the Olympic lifting. I wasn't very good at Olympic lifting. It's not so much I wasn't good at it. Like you can practice, you can improve your technique, you can always improve. But I didn't pick it up very quickly. Everything else I picked up very quickly. I have very good mind-muscle connection, and normally I have pretty good athletics, hand-eye coordination, good motor mechanics. But in Olympic lifting, there was just a lot going on, and wasn't my forte. Oh, that's the worst, right? I just my best friend just recovered from a car accident, and at the time I didn't ask him how it happened. He showed me pictures. It was really bad. He was recovering, and then yesterday him and I played some four-player chess, and I finally asked him like, so how'd you crash? And so apparently there was this really good-looking woman jogging by him on the street, and he's driving, and he starts to wander as his eye is doing this, and then suddenly there's a parked car in front of him. Instead of he panicked, and instead of hitting the gas, instead of hitting the brake, he hit the gas, and ended up damaging four cars. So we've all done that, where well, not necessarily that extreme, but where made a fool of ourselves and all right. These things are rotating on me. I don't like it. Ouch. Exactly. What am I stepping on? I think I'm sometimes piece of my like sometimes my equipment starts to like shave off. I get like little metal shavings on the floor. Yeah, I got my rear delts are like basically hard as rock. The first time you like I built the muscle, and I reached back and I was scratching. I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh my god! I got like, is that a bone? Like, it's not a bone. It's just rear delt. If I had a choice, I'd be a back with legs. My legs are strong, but they're not shaped the way I'd want them to be right now. 2018, I herniated my disc, and I tore my glute, and I couldn't train my legs until the beginning of 2020. And I've done a lot of training since then, but a lot of it was focused on um, performance as opposed to just tearing down the muscle tissue. So I'm going to spend more time just focusing on getting that hypertrophy in the next little bit, and then it's just I can grow my legs. It's just it'll take time. Gnarly. I don't even know if I'm flexing my back right. Yeah. Well, if you were doing 405 at 190 at 200 pounds, then you drop 20 pounds, you're going to lose a lot of strength. October 2020, before I started streaming my workouts, I was deadlifting 575 pounds, working up to 600. And then second lockdown hit, and I went from 230 pounds down to 170 by the end of the year. And finally, I'm like, okay, I got to stop. I went quickly back up to 180, 185, and well, actually, I went quickly back up to 180, and then I polished myself up to 185. Yeah, but that extra weight, even if it's not mostly muscle, helps with lifts. One, mass moves mass. Two, um, there's it changes your range of motion. Like if you're going to bench, if you don't have to bench, like if you're coming all the way down, that's a lot more difficult than if your range of motion is here because you got like wide ribs. Um, at the same time, there's an inherent stiffness when you've got that weight, where the stiffness in your body helps leverage the weight off the ground. But for me, my back is strong. I can pull a ton. Um, for my chest, I I find it easy to put a lot of volume in, so I never have that much. So I never had that much trouble like maintaining size. Um, just because the work itself is easy for me. Um, but I'm not as good at the pushing exercises as I am at the pulling. I figured out what my max bench is. My max bench at this weight is 365, but that actually hurt me. Like I did my max bench of 365, and then I was like had a sore like in my trap and my neck for a while. Went to the physiotherapist. I had a rib that popped out. I forgot the ribs went up that high, and yeah, so he popped my rib back in. I was just like, oh my god, just like that. Yeah. I when I injured my knee, I was wearing my knee sleeves. I got knee sleeves that have a hole right where the knee goes, and I think what helped the most is just having the compression, keeping the inflammation out of the away from the joint. But I actually kept wearing it for a little bit longer than I needed to, just for some more like preventative measures. But I'm not wearing them anymore. So I'm doing my leg workout draw, and like my knee feels good. I'm I'm squatting 315, but I don't have a lot of I can't do a lot of athletic work. So I can't do things where it's like where the knee moves around. My knee is strong with tracking over my toe, but if I'm doing torque, so if I want to spin, I can do it on my right leg. So this is my good leg. This is my bad leg. And in partner dancing, as a lead, most of the time you're spinning around your left leg. And I can do it. It's just, well, I don't want to. Because I can do it, but then right away, I'm going to have inflammation. Oh, I missed that you said you lost your job. Sorry to hear that. Any pressure hurts. Yeah. I don't want to diagnose like armchair diagnose anybody. That she should be going to a physiotherapy rather than talking to me about what's specifically going on because I can't like see how you're lifting. I can't be there to. But you can always focus on form. Make sure that the lift is good on your body. It's like sometimes you can be the best. Like you can be really good at something. Like I'll give you an example. Like you could be a really good boxer. Like you could be a really good boxer, but or you can lift a lot of like you can be at work and you can outwork everyone else just because of physical ability, but the process that you're using, like you're boxing and your style might actually be very destructive on your shoulders, or the way you're actually lifting this weight might be destructive on the body, and the body might just be letting you know, like, hey, like, but you might be great at whatever you're doing, might still be strong and pushing some good numbers, but tearing your body down in the long run, and that's just something to be, I don't know, maybe conscious about. Even myself, I spent a couple months away from doing deadlifts. I'll get somebody I trust to critique my form, or I have this right. Like I have myself on camera, and afterwards I will go through my streams and I'll check out my form and I'll see like what could I improve, what don't I like to see, and I get feedback right away. Oh, so yeah, if it's I was hoping it wasn't joint like deterioration, right? I didn't even want to say it. You hope it's something that you can really take into that you can really take into your own hands. Um, like for myself, I've got a chipped vertebrae in my back, and if you look at an X-ray, I got like nice little vertebrae, and one of them is just jagged. And before I started working out, this thing was like a pin that was constantly poking my back muscles, and my mid back was always inflamed because of it. I started training. I built up a lot of support around there. I have zero back problems now. I had problems for years, and it was from playing volleyball, doing dives and stuff. And I dove, and when I landed, I compressed, and I oh you lost a lot of fat from your job. Oh yeah, you know what? I read that right the first time, and I looked back up and I glanced over it, and then I read it wrong the second time. Yeah, so I'm glad you're gainfully employed. Yeah, I haven't been counting how many pull-ups I've done. I haven't really been in a hurry, going on my own pace. I'm really enjoying how my shoulder's feeling right now. But yeah, like a lot of things, particularly with sports, there's repetitive injuries, particularly like football and just running. Running is very hard on the body. Like sprinting, it's you can build a lot of muscle with sprinting because you sprint. One of the key components of building muscle is just pushing yourself harder and harder. Well, when you're sprinting, you're going all out. Your muscles, they're exploding. They need to generate a lot of force. Um, but very destructive on the body. Every time you land, you're landing with multiple times your body weight of force that's being carried by your joints. But whew, if you lock your knees, yeah, oh, especially when you're falling, right? You're like falling injuries where you got something on top of you, and you're like you can generate a lot of force very quickly on something that doesn't have that thick of a cross sectional area, and that's that's true for not even like for a lot of things with regards to knees. Why people end up hurting their knees is because you can generate a lot of force on the knees very quickly. Like our knees are actually a very strong joint, but they like to be strong. But they're strong in the proper plane of movement, and it's very like you want to do a lunge, right? It's center mass. My center mass right here. There's no force in my knee, but I can here. There's tons like exponentially just like you can feel the stress in your knee. And in an exercise, like if you're doing like pistol lunges or something, if your form is off, you do something incorrectly, like 0 to 100 in a second, and tear out, like you fall on the ground, but it's already too late. Yeah, I before the world shut down, I basically worked out and I did partner dancing, and I started partner dancing at the same. I got my best friend into it, and then suddenly he got a whole bunch of health problems, and it started with like he just dislocated, like he was just walking on the dance floor and he was just dancing, and he just dislocated his kneecap and then fell down, and he just collapsed in a puddle and dislocated his kneecap. He tore everything you can tear in there. I ended up carrying him up I ended up carrying him up 2 flights of stairs because we're no, I ended up carrying him up a half flight of stairs, up another half flight of stairs, brought him to his, like I ended up driving him home. Then I carried him up 2 flights of stairs to his house, and his dad's a doctor, and his dad took him to the hospital after. But that was the start of his problems. And then, like a year later, once he was finally dancing again, he ended up tearing his Achilles tendon. Um, and it turns out he has Crohn's, and that was causing a lot of his issues. Like it was um, and then he starts getting non-destructive arthritis, and it was just it's life can be hard sometimes. I think 4 players tore their Achilles just from running. Yeah. Oh, I don't wish that on anybody, right? Like I see somebody lifting a lot of weight. I want them to succeed. I don't want to watch these videos that you see of gym injuries and it's like gym fails. It's like I don't want to see that. I don't want to see like somebody's chest tearing, like the tendon coming off and then the chest rolling up. It's just like, oh, there's something on my floor. But yeah, I was there when my best friend tore his Achilles tendon, and it wasn't good. I almost feel like doing weighted pull-ups, you know. But now, you know what? This is easy for me. I don't really want to strain yet. I'm coming off of a shoulder strain, so let's just take it easy today. Um, it happens to power lifters too. Um, a lot of it depends on your weight class. You get big, heavy guys lifting big, heavy weights. Um, a lot of the smaller guys, like there's some guys that just have amazing genetics that are lifting like 3, 4 times their body weight, and like depending on the lift, and the tendon thickness doesn't really grow that much. But yeah, strong men in particular, you get like even bodybuilders, right? A lot of bodybuilding isn't functional. You focus on the aesthetics. You want big quads, but you don't care about the functionality of the training that you do. So you do a lot of quad extensions, right? Well, you end up building a really massive quad, but when you're playing something, when you're playing a sport, you you're not actually using your quad like that. But you're actually pushing off differently than what you're training like. And for bodybuilders in particular, like they go do something to go play badminton and they go push off a floor and that their quads just rip their tendon right off their bone. That's that's the problem with training certain ways. And it's not like you can't be functional as a bodybuilder, but you have to train for how you want to perform, and there is a trade-off um, compared to if you want to just pack on the most muscle and have it proportioned the best way you can, compare um, and then there's only very few people like say Juji Mufu who can train like a bodybuilder and still be able to do his flips and stuff. But he's spent decades on his flips to build up the tolerances in his body to be able to perform the exercises. And he's only been recently getting into bodybuilding, and so he's already got that base there. Plus, he's like as well. He's not natural, and he's able to recover better than the average person. Yeah. Oh, it's like, you have the body that you have, and certain like sometimes being smaller, like shorter, can be an advantage in some lifts. You got like short arms. You might be able to bench a little bit more, less range of motion, less distance you have to push the bar. I'm not sure. I agree with. There's no comeback from that. It's uh, it's it's just if you were competing as a professional bodybuilder, um, there are certain things you're expected to do that are hard in the body. Getting down to 5% body fat, not healthy. Um, Going on a water fast so that you remove all the water between the skin and the muscle, not healthy. If you want to compete, like you can compete naturally as a bodybuilder, and some people can actually like one in like 100 million have the genetics to actually compete at like Mr. Olympia. But you get the mass monsters, which you're you're expected to do steroids and not just PEDs, but like hard doses of everything you can get your hands on. Yeah, well, sometimes it comes down to what you enjoy and how you like what you like and how you enjoy training. So if you like training like a bodybuilder, you're gonna make more progress than somebody who doesn't. Like you're just gonna naturally throw yourself into it a little bit better. Yeah, yeah. At competition is hard on the body, but at the same time, strongmen, right? Being like 400 pounds, 350 pounds, and full of muscle, but also full of fat, strongmen are actually not healthy either. Particularly if you want to compete and you want to be taken seriously as strongmen, all the people that are known are on on heavy cycles of PEDs, and that contributes to affecting their health. Like having big muscles, fine and all, but there comes to a point where your heart becomes taxed to carry that weight, and for like it's shortening your life. Like strongmen at the highest level are more unhealthy throughout the entire year than bodybuilders. Bodybuilders are more unhealthy at their extremes, but that's just for like a very short window. Like you're there for a couple weeks and then you're out. Whereas even with strongmen and even with bodybuilders who do bulk and cut cycles, um, when they're in their bulking phase, if they carry too much fat, they're unhealthy as well. It's like the science has shown. If you look at the like different parameters of health, it's actually more healthy to be skinny or thin, or like a normal weight, and inactive than it is to be like strong, active, like uh, like even training in the Olympics, but being overweight. The abdominal fat and it's just unhealthy. Yeah, But he like Thor also really cut down his PED cycles, right? So the reason why he wanted to stop like strongmen, he said it. He said, "I want to be around for my family." Like he's got a family now. He's got things he cares about, and he wants to see his kids grow up. Yeah, if he lives to 70, he's probably going to need a heart transplant like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like a lot of the strongmen and the like the bodybuilder influencers who are just going for size and are dying of heart attacks, their hearts when they pass are like twice the size of what they should be, and it's because they're working harder to just to pump blood through their body. Well, there's something always to prove. It's like he's got what we regular plebs don't have. Like not everybody can put their body through that, and I was training like I was near that dedicated. My first 4 years of training. So I started training at 24. 28 is when I would consider myself to have hit my peak genetics. Like 4 years, I had like I put together a program. I trained as efficiently as I could. I attacked. I did everything right. I was measuring every calorie, and I got the appropriate results. And I was the biggest, the strongest I've ever been at 28. And then I got Lyme disease, and I didn't know what was wrong with me, but my body stopped functioning, and I ended up dropping a lot of weight, like over 6 months before I got diagnosed, and it was another 6 months until I was cured, and then I went right back to training. I was like almost from ground zero, but not quite because I still kept a lot of stuff, but right from the bottom, worked my way back up, tried things a little bit differently, and I was still pretty dedicated, but I was never like that racehorse with the blinders on, just going full blast, right? Because like muscles are great and all, but sometimes you want to live a life and just be happy, and you don't need. Oh, yeah, well, the problem with the deadlift records is that all the deadlift records are different, right? Like they got records for different types of rules. They got records for okay whether you're wearing a belt or not, whether you're like what you're allowed to do, what they consider a full rep. Like for him, he used like the long bar. The last one, like the last strongman lift was. But the thing is his lift wasn't a strongman lift, and that's like it was a 501 kilogram deadlift record, but it wasn't a strongman record. Strongman is like a specific time and a specific place, and the best men show up, and they all compete on the same conditions, and and then it's the best man sort of walks away. but like you look at different federations, different like for me, a deadlift isn't. It's a record, but it comes with it's a record for this parameters, and that's what I want to keep it as. Okay, so you lifted this amount of weight. What rules were you under? How did you do it? Um, I'd want to compare apples to apples per se. Vanda, how's it going? I was hoping I'd see you today. I got to make a point to be on more often. The last couple weeks, like 2.5 weeks, I switched up my training program. As you know, I busted up my knee. I was basically doing push pull, push pull, push pull, basically back and chest 3 days a week each, and uh, and then I was throwing something and I threw it and then I threw as hard as I could and I'm like, oh man, my shoulder feels a little bit weird now, and so I strained my shoulder a little bit just because it was tight and I didn't warm up and I just grabbed it, I had the muscle to explode really hard, but wasn't ready for it. So for the last 2.5 weeks, I've been doing leg days focused around sumo deadlifts on Wednesdays, and then leg days focused around like squats, just tearing down my muscle, just like big leg lifts on Sundays with some light exercise and stretching every other day of the week. But I'm back now. This is my go-to, right? My favorite exercise, just a regular pull-up. I'm not really trying that hard. I'm not really pushing myself. I don't have weight on my waist, but it feels good. My shoulder's really holding up. I gave myself enough time. I probably could have started a week ago, but I wanted, I had a plan. I kept to it. And now I'm going to be on a regular program where I have my full body working. You doing okay? Glad to hear. Yeah, I'm I'm actually not that much of a Thor fan, actually, mostly because of the issues that he has in his family. Like, it's like I'm sure some of it had to do with like he's got extra testosterone in him from all the stuff he's taking. His hormones might be a little bit more volatile, makes him a little bit more like alpha. But I don't think he's necessarily a good father or husband. Meanwhile, somebody like Eddie Hall, he's an asshole, but like he had me sold on a video where I watched him. He was just taking his kids out, and then he's like, hey kid, he's like, hey kid, and he's like just like joshing with him, and the kid walks up and and his son punches him in the balls, and she's like, oh okay, get out of here, get off camera, and I was like, oh you that was great. That was when I became an Eddie Hall fan. All right, good luck with your exams. Thanks for dropping by. Take care of yourself. Oh, I'm running low on water. How long have I been going? Yeah, but it's temporary. It's take from it what you can. try to get any type of personal growth, career, like anything you can for your career, and then it'll be gone before you know it. On to bigger and better things, and even just the skills you acquire just from dealing with unpleasant people will transfer to a lot of other potential situations that you can improve. I got a workout fog brain going on right now, but that you can improve the circumstances for future relations. Yesterday, you had to do one thing for 8 hours. Yeah. Uh, I can I can empathize with that. And sometimes doing one thing for 8 hours isn't that bad. Like sometimes if you're able to just shut your brain off and let your body do the work, and sometimes you just go and like if you're painting a wall, right? Like okay, right? And you're and so sometimes that just gets you through the day, and it's like oh yeah, you got some nice exercise and this and that. But other times it's like mind-numbingly painful. 8 hours, you have to focus on doing something very specific and maybe very diligent, and you got to be yeah, I've been there too, where it's like I don't want to be doing this anymore. Like why? What am I doing? I'm moving a line on a computer from here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here, here. Just like ah, yeah. And there's only so much you can learn doing the same thing for 8 hours straight, but the process can be beneficial. All right, let's get down here. I wonder how many pull-ups I've done. I haven't been counting, but I figure I'll go for another 20 minutes. Oh, I'm a little bit less lean than normal right now, but I'll take care of that in the next couple weeks. I'm not worried. Ooh. Get that vein. Where is that? Here it is. This way. I didn't balance as much as I thought I would. I suspect it's going to get quite quiet in here now that Immortal Chickens has gone to bed. That a female handyman, handywoman. I don't have a wrench. I need some sort of tool to mold that. The lesson today: uh, planning beforehand and all the and the preparation really goes a long way if you commit to sticking with it in order to achieve whatever goal you're after, in order to get through whatever you're going through, in order to like recover from any type of injury or just get through whatever is sort of holding you down. And it's not always easy to plan, but if you can, it's a virtue. Myself, I just was coming off my plan, um, and now I have a plan for the future. And for the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do something very specific, and then I'm just going to get back into my training program, and we'll see how I look by the end of the year, 2022. Yikes! Yeah, I don't have. I might have a wrench. I got a hammer. No. Huh? Hey. Next set, I'll probably do another 2 sets. I wonder if I can do. Nope. This thing was moving on me. Very scary. It's like. Yeah, I'm starting to get tired. Yeah, my back is starting to get tired. I can feel it. Have a good night, Mr. Banda. I'll be taking off soon enough myself. I might just call it. Let's see who's online right now. I got a busy day at work tomorrow. I got to go outside
All right, what's this woman doing? I'll send you the destroyed. All right, I think I've had my fun. I'll just send you guys to destroyed. That didn't work. All right, let's do that. Bye, everybody. Thanks for coming by. Have a good night.